Hello, beautiful people. We're gonna give some people a chance to come in. I'm in a different location today, so it's kind of loud in my environment. I apologize for that. I want the best recording, most professional recording, but I cannot help the current environment I'm in my quest to stay safe while giving information about the topics we share on Hugo Mlkkuh. Welcome. I am on a podcast. I'm not speaking to anyone in my environment because I have to make sure that it's very clear in the subject matter that we discuss who I'm speaking to and why I'm speaking. So therefore, I reiterate things like that from time to time to make sure that all the listeners and I are on the same page as we move forward through this paradigm of treachery and desire for capitalism over human dignity. So tonight, understanding, let's wait a few more minutes to give a few more people time to come in. And that's people talking in my background. Please excuse the background. So now I'm back. I dropped the phone and everything. I'm having a difficult time tonight because I had to relocate for safety. Leaving the stage of the empire. That's what we're talking about today. Leaving the stage of the empire. And what do we mean about that? Today we explore a spoken reckoning from the edges of surveillance and sovereignty in our soul. I am Clarke, Wise the Renaissance. Welcome to Hugo Mlkkuh. I am a fit philosopher, musically and poetically inclined lesbian polymath, scientist, self-proclaimed, and financial literacy global participant towards community empowerment. Today's invocation is not mystical. As always, it is not abstract. It is a mathematical, precise expose on what it means to live, learn, and lead under surveillance, patriarchy, and the need for restoration. Good teachings are 1/4 preparation and 3/4 pure theater. That's from Gail Godwin. So let me stand then as a teller of truths, veiled in a story, dipped in a rhythm, not to mystify, but to declassify. Because what we are experiencing is not trauma. It's drama creating trauma. It's data, it's design, it's domination mapped out on a grid. When we look at the scientific Hegira, Muhammad's sacred exit from Mecca, it's now echoed in every one of us, fleeting a toxic empire. Some people have been involved in cults in their lives. Some people have been involved in various religious organizations. Some people have been involved in gang warfare. And then you can even go high as the military and their bully-like tactics. In these toxic environments, you have to ask yourselves, do we really need armies like that anymore? What we need to do is look at the grids and the needs of the devices that we hear without speaking. Do these devices need to exist? Hold on one second. Hold on. Excuse me. Can you move over there a little bit? Because I'm doing a podcast and you are screaming. All right, I'm sorry. I was rudely interrupted, but I'm trying to stay focused on what I'm saying here. So, what I told you last was that empires, we don't need the type of armies that we've had in the past anymore. They've used grids and they use devices that hear without speaking. This needs to be examined as why we have neural links to people we don't know. This is not Silicon Valley, but an invasive architecture is broadcasting from the land itself. Land weaponized as interface. I am stalked by a white aura of domination, not as in mysticism, but as in sensory matrix, pain, vibration, interference. Wherever I go, it follows like a shadow GPS, a scientific rape by design. This is not theatrical, folks. It is biohacking. It is acoustic warfare. It is non-consensual data harvesting on a spiritual level. So let's discuss the shamelessness in knowledge in a shameless empire. This capitalistic patriarchy parades itself as elitism, as in TED Talks, as in tenured chairs at universities. It rewards shameless ego, and it calls leadership. But really, leadership, real teaching is not theater, it is truth. Leadership comes in truth, not in simulation of a fragility hiding behind a fake supremacy. And I ask you, who decides this? Who profits from this? I am not a weak or a fragile person, but sensitive means sensory aware, attuned, alive to what is happening. So let's call it what it is, rape through digital intrusion. This is not a metaphorical illusion. This is behavioral engineering, neurological abuse, and atmospheric interference executed through embedded or remote neural weapons, hidden as government tech or crime boss technology. Devices are no longer in your hands, they are in your air, they are in your blood, they are in your resonance. If your body reacts, if your memory is distorted, it is not dysfunction. It is feedback loop designed to enslave perception, and these are the things we discuss here. Welcome to Hugo Mlkkuh. Like Muhammad, like Nat Turner, like Ligba at the crossroads, I walk not to escape, but to chart my own course. And humanity under global observation, in this space, we reclaim our eyes, we use them to see each other, not to surveil, to witness, not to weaponize. I leave politics under a respectful time of reemergence. I hope that politics reemerges with accountability and respectability. I leave the plantation, I leave the false alliances and the shallow liberation brands that people pass around like trinkets because it's money. So spirit come down, my sacred cow, a body not for sale, my science, the restoration, and coded algorithms of care. I am not your content. I am context that those evil white auras steal. Not your product, but proof that poetry teaches. A lack of knowledge is dangerous. Unrighteously, anybody who embeds their empire in a lack of knowledge will not build. What they will do is they will burn their temple. And if they burn or attempt to burn my temple, I become a walking shrine. If they monitor my voice and thoughts, I become an expanded frequency they can't decode. If they chip my thoughts, I become uncontrollable beyond their comprehension. So those of you who have stayed with us this far and listened thus far, welcome, welcome, welcome. Know that you are not alone. We are under observation illegally, but also over transformation in our awareness. So yes, I want to wish you all peace and namaste. I was hoping to speak longer tonight, but there was too much interference, too much talking in the background, too much noise. And this is precisely what I was talking about. We saw it in real time. So give thanks, peace and namaste to all the listeners, and I'll be back next week with another insightful lecture. Thank you.